Giants fans already came into Sunday afternoon pretty pissed off. On Friday night, they saw their former star running back score 3 touchdowns for their arch rival, the Philadelphia Eagles, and he looks happy. He looks like he's flourishing already in Philadelphia. And you're stuck with Danny Dimes. I put that in quotation marks because it has been anything but dimes.
Emotional damage.
Since signing this massive deal after the 2022 season, Daniel Jones has actually thrown more pick sixes than touchdown passes. That just put that into perspective. In the preseason, coming off of the ACL injury, he's trying to ease his way back into it. Against the Houston Texans, there was a terrible pick six that ends up being a indicative sign for the season opener because he did it again with Van Ginkel of the Minnesota Vikings for a pick six. Couldn't even execute a screen pass on the outside. Threw another red zone interception, and I don't know what was worse, the Giants' performance on Sunday afternoon or their uniforms, because look at this. It looks like the helmets are kind of a knockoff Michigan look, and their jerseys look like a hockey sweater, and the pants, could not tell about the pants if that's their legs or was it just this weird tan color. I know it's their centennial anniversary. They brought in all their superstars from the past, Lawrence Taylor, Bill Parcells, Eli, but I mean, this is a team that has fallen from grace since their heydays in the Eli Manning days and even when Bill Parcells was running this team. This could be a long season for the New York Giants, the New York Football Giants. You're seeing Saquon flourish down the turnpike, and you're seeing your defense with 3 Pro Bowl caliber defensive linemen get absolutely shredded by Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was hot to start off this game. He was like 10 for 10 in the first quarter, and I thought he played really well. His only interception was because his hand got hit. Can't really blame him on that. I think that's a protection thing, but this Vikings team kind of surprised us. Now it's against probably one of the worst teams in the NFL, but I thought the Vikings had a good start to the year. Getting back to the Giants though, you got to think about 2 years ago when you were picking between Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. All Saquon Barkley wanted was a 3-year deal at about $12 million a year. I know that's more than most running backs, but think about the salary cap implications. Would you rather do that with Saquon Barkley, who I think is fairly established as a running back at that point? He had another Pro Bowl year. And Daniel Jones, who's been injured most of his career, when he is active and healthy, he hasn't been that great. He fleeced y'all into picking him over Saquon Barkley for a 4-year, $140 million deal. I think that's GM malpractice right there. We already saw their GM on the Hard Knocks offseason thing, and we talked about, and we saw John Mara, their owner, saying it would have been an absolute nightmare seeing him with the Eagles. Well, his nightmare came true. And now you're seeing the Giants have to endure this pretty long, brutal season that I think that's coming up for them, unfortunately. Could come at a good time where they can reset the roster, get Daniel Jones off the books, probably had to eat a dead cap number, but if there's a quarterback out there in the draft coming up, I think you have to snag him at this point because they were already looking at Drake May. Could really get the capital to slide up to number 3, and I think that's probably the better move. And now you get Malik Neighbors, who I thought had a pretty decent debut. You're working the defensive line, but I'm sorry, New York, it's going to be a long season for y'all.